Alright guys, so in this video we're going to talk about what to do with the bass drum while you're playing fills. And specifically, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do with the bass drum to kind of maximize what you're playing with your drum fills. Also, if you dig this video, please like, please subscribe, and if you like what you see here, please check out my book, Tactical Drumming Guru's Survival Guide. I'll put a link for it in the description. Okay, so let's dig into this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you basically 3 primary things that you can do with the bass drum to really kind of max out your drum fills or to add the bass drum into them. I had a student the other day ask me, she asked me, what do I do with the bass drum, right? We're playing all these fills and we're doing all these kind of 16 note patterns, and it's like, how do I apply the bass drum into it? There's really 3 primary things you can do with the bass drum to kind of add to these fills, right? So you can do it in a linear fashion, you can add accents that match what the hands are doing, or you can kind of play the bass drum continuously, right? So I'm actually going to start with the last one, right? And that is the idea of playing the bass drum continuously. What I mean by that is, if say I'm playing, like, we're going to use kind of a similar pattern for each of these just to kind of show the principle. But if I'm taking this pattern right here, right, so say that's my main fill pattern that I'm going to use, and it sounds cool in a bunch of different contexts, right? Then what I would want to do is I could say maybe play bass 8th notes on the bass drum. Now if I play that pattern over the top of it, the decca da decca da decca da decca da decca decca da, it gives the fill all this momentum and motion. It also creates a polyrhythm, which means multiple rhythms happening simultaneously, right? So if I play this rhythm here, and I keep that bass drum going, put the 2 on top of each other, it actually sounds kind of cool. And then what I would do is then incorporate that same fill principle onto the toms, right? Keeping that bass drum going. So boom, boom, add that tom pattern. And then you can do that really with any variation, right? Kind of get the idea, right? Okay, so now the second thing you can do is actually to accent the notes with the bass drum, right? So using our same exact pattern here, right? This would basically be on each one of the accents that I'm playing in the snare drum, right? Right, left, 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 right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the bass drum to it. So my accents are here. My bass drum's going to play with those accents. Right, so let's try it one more time. 2, ready, and. The reason this pattern or this idea is so cool is I can add that like with the cymbals. 2, ready, and. Right, obviously I do it with crash cymbals, right? I've had some crash cymbals on the set, but right now, but you get the idea, right? And I can mix that up. So I'm going. And the idea with this is there's all sorts of patterns that you can think about. So say maybe you're using just like this kind of pattern. You can play that with a bass drum. Right? Or add 6s. If I do that with the cymbals, it actually sounds kind of cool. And now I don't have to keep it to just simple patterns. I can also mix it up, right? So just kind of an improvised variation, right? So I'm going to... Right, some sort of kind of unique creative fill, but basically the idea is as I play the accents, I play the bass drum with it, all right? And now the last variation, the third one, is to actually play linear patterns, and that is the bass drum has its own independent voice. This is the most common fill you'll see on a bajillion YouTube videos, right? RLK, right? You see that right, left kick, right, right? Kind of classic 1980s drum fill from, like, you know, glam rock or whatever. You hear this everywhere, but you can do a lot more with that than just that one same fill, right? I can flip it around. Right, on the end of it, that matches our pattern earlier. Ba, ba, ba. Right, so you get the idea. So Now with that though, I did do one more thing at the beginning of the videos. You'll notice that I actually play double stops with that, taking the same pattern. Right, and that's another way, kind of cool way to mix it up. But the idea is that the bass drum sits independent, which allows me then to kind of add some variation. So just a quick review. My options are: 1, you play the bass drum continuously. Play the rhythm over it. Option 2, the bass drum aligns with the accents. So if my accents are here, to bass drum. And usually I'm going to mix it up with the toms or the cymbals. And the last option, of course, is to create a linear pattern. Right, or whatever, right? So you get the idea. I'm going to play it one more time for you coming out, and then we'll go from there.